Good to see all of you, and I've been watching some of the comments, some of you asking for reading. So we'll be doing a little bit of reading today, but in the context of your first day at work. So as Eleanor had told you earlier, it's titled Reading the Fine Print and How OET Reading Skills Will Help You Navigate Your New Workplace Induction Pack. Right. So when you move to a new country or a new hospital or a new work environment, you will have to get acquainted to the nuances, to the differences in work practice, etc. And so we are going to assume that this is your new hospital, Hillview Hospital, and you have an induction program. So we're going to dive into the induction pack and see how we can apply OET's reading skills in navigating through all of that. Excellent. So as many of my colleagues have been discussing earlier, a lot of text could be intimidating and a lot of candidates find reading difficult at times. So these are some of the key reading skills which I'd be touching on today: skimming, scanning, and detailed reading. Now, some of you must be familiar with these terms, while these could be new for some others. So we are going to take two topics which could be part of your induction pack. One is fire safety, and the other will be on social media usage. Right, so let's get started with the fire safety. Now, I want you to identify what is the skill which is used to quickly find the main idea of a text. Now, the poll starts now. You have to choose between skimming, scanning, and detailed reading. Please choose the poll option. All right. The poll will end in a bit. 54% of you have selected skimming, which is the right option. Great. So skimming is something which we use to quickly identify the main idea of a text. And when you have a lot of text to go through, you will have to use skimming skills. And this is particularly true in OET's reading part A, as well as in a lot of the text you encounter every day at work, and particularly in the induction pack. All right, so here's another question for you. What is the skill used to look for specific information? So that's another poll for you, whether it's skimming, scanning, or detailed reading. What skill would you use to look for specific information? The poll will end now, and it's excellent to see that a lot of you have had the right answer selected: scanning. Good to see that you are aware of these skills. So let's try these skills very quickly and see how far you're able to achieve and identify those information as well. Right. So to bring both together, the skills in OET's reading as well as the text you encounter in the induction pack on day one, I've had those texts prepared in a way similar to OET's reading part A. Now, OET's reading part A has 4 texts. So we have text A here, text B, text C, and text D. All right, now quickly, can you go through these and do some skimming? So when you skim, you have to look at the headings, subheadings, probably tables or some information of that sort, so that you quickly get an idea of how it's going. Cool. So here is the first text for you. Now the second text, if you have been able to skim, you would have identified that the first one is on regulatory requirements with regard to fire safety. So you can kind of think what the text is even without reading. Moving on to the next one, which is arrangements for evacuating the workplace. You have a lot of subheadings, non-patient areas, clinical areas, continuous ringing bell, staff assembly point, operating theater for those acute based, etc. So you know what could be the information there without going into all the details. And the third text C, is on types of evacuation. And clearly you can see the 4 types of evacuation there. You have immediate, rapid, gradual, and prepare only. And text D, it's on patients with special needs. So you have patients with disabilities, patients who require medical care or on equipment, people with emotional needs, etc. All right, so now that you have quickly skimmed, let's look at the question types in OET's reading part A. We have 3 types of questions, and the first one would always be, the first set of questions would be matching. So we are going to try a matching question now. For each question, decide which text A, B, C, or D the information comes from. So this is the question, an evacuation process that takes a longer period of time. Now, based on your skimming, you should be able to make a calculated guess on what the answer could be. To make it easier for you, I have the headings on the screen for you. Can you try? The chat option is not available for you, but can you try to find the answer and write it down? I'll give you a bit of time for that. All right, let's see if you have been able to check with the answer which you have. The answer is C. The information on an evacuation process which takes a longer period of time comes from text C. In text C, it's about the types of evaluation. So probably it could be the gradual evacuation. The word itself makes it clear. All right, that's great. So let's now move on to the next type of question and how that would help you. So this is a short answer question. You have to find the answer and write it in a word or short phrase. What must be done with the significant findings of risk assessment? Can you try to think from what you have already skimmed, what it could be? I'll give you a bit of time. Again, I have the headings for you just in case you want to quickly skim. Now you would have identified that the answer comes from text A. It's talking about the findings of risk assessment. Now risk assessment and the findings of that could be part of the regulatory framework on fire safety. So that should be from text A. So let's look at the answer. I hope you would have got the answer. So the answer says recorded or must be recorded, right? I hope it's going good for you. And finally, we have the next question type. Now, this is a gap filling. Complete the sentence with a word or short phrase from one of the texts. So the question is, the nurse in theater uniform will attend the assembly point and dash between the senior nurse and the staff in the operating theater. Now, can you try which text this could be from? To make it easier for you, I have the text lined up for you. It's from text B. Now, what word could it be? I'll give you a bit of time if you are able to read the content on the screen and find the answer. Give it a try. If not, I'll get you with the answer in a while. All right. So here's the answer. It is liaise. The nurse in theatre uniform will liaise between the senior nurse and the staff in the operating theatre. So we have looked at the 3 types of questions which you will encounter in the part A of reading in OET, but applying these skills are essential when you encounter a lot of text at workplace as well. Great. So let's now move on to part B. We're going to do a short question on part B. In part B, you will get short extracts, 6 short extracts, which could come from a variety of text you encounter at workplace. So these could be policy documents, guidelines, manuals, instructions, etc. And you have 3 options to choose from. So this is about the guidelines for posting on social media. And nowadays we do use and post a lot of material on social media, but hospitals and trusts and government bodies, regulatory bodies will all have a lot of policies. So this is important to understand as well. I'll give you a bit of time to read it and try to choose what the option is. So what ultimate motive should each employee consider while posting any material online? Now, unlike in part A, part B and C text might call for a bit of detailed reading or careful reading. So just by skimming and scanning, you may not be always able to find the answer. You may have to go in for detailed reading. Right. So I'm not sure whether you have had enough time to read the text, but to help you with that, I have the answer for you on the screen, and I've highlighted the area from where it comes. The privacy and confidentiality of the patient, which the employee is bound to protect. Remember, towards the end of the text, it says, remember our legal responsibility for our patient's privacy and confidentiality, which should be the guiding principle of paramount importance. So this is a bit of a task which requires a bit of detailed reading. Some of the questions might be asking for summary, you have to identify the gist, etc. Nonetheless, these skills are really important. So let's quickly sum up. We need to get used to and perfect the skills of reading, skimming, scanning, detailed reading, and applying these skills will help you in your OET's reading. A lot of candidates face reading a bit difficult, but remember, it's not just about doing a lot of tasks. Many candidates feel that if you keep on practicing and do a lot of mock tests, your skills will improve. That's not the case. You'll have to learn how to apply these skills. So skill-based learning is what you require. And then you should be able to apply that in OET's reading. I can definitely tell you that OET's reading doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to worry a lot about it if you get the right kind of training and the right kind of skill acquisition. And then you will be able to apply all the skills in your workplace right from day one. So as we have seen from this induction pack, every day at work, you have to go through a lot of text. It could be drug charts or a whole lot of things, information on new updates, changes in policy, etc., etc. Right? So keep practicing and good luck. And to help you with that, we have an entire reading part A exclusively for all of you who are attending this session. So you'll be able to download this right now. Excellent. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending, and please make use of this reading part A to improve your reading skills and keep learning. Be great healthcare professionals at work.